Hey guys, I know it's been a while since my last upload, but I figured I'd kind of change things up and do something other than my 3D printed sirens for a little bit. I know I haven't talked much about my actual collection. So what I thought I'd do a little recording of, a little bit of a test here, is of my Federal Electric Model D. This is the dimpleback. You can see it's got the little bulb that comes off the back of the motor cover. That's because these sirens use the half horsepower motor inside them. It's a universal motor, but these are the ones that have the good motor in them. You can see the tag right here. Tag still looks pretty good through all these years. You can see Federal Electric. It says 2 amps, and that's most likely 2 amps running, not the actual start current, because these motors do draw quite a bit of power when they first start up. I know that a lot of the hardware has been replaced. These are obviously not original. Neither is this. These are stainless fasteners. And then one of these screws was so messed up when I originally got this in my possession that it broke off. And I tried re-drilling it and re-tapping it, but it didn't end up working out too well. Basically just because of the way that these motors are set up with their mounting bosses. So I just didn't want to end up screwing up any worse, so I just left it alone. But this is just a kind of an overview of it. I know I've talked about this Model D for a while, but I never actually gotten a chance to display it. Uses a cast aluminum horn, unlike the later versions that used a spun steel horn. You can see that they would have the lip is typically rounded over a lot more on the newer horns. Just to better show the age of this Model D. There's looking down inside the front of the rotor. I do have a Union Jack screen, which would be period appropriate for these sirens. They did come with screens on them. This one is a different. This is not the original screen that came with it. So this is the size of each one of these jack pieces is actually larger than what they would have had, but it's what I was able to find. It's not a very popular screen type anymore. And if you can see into the rotor, I don't know if you can, the rotor does have air holes that are put into the back of the rotor, and that's to help, as it's running, pull fresh air through the motor to keep the motor cool when it's running. None of these parts are painted. In the original advertisements when they were selling these, the colors that were available were actually nickel plating, as well as red Duco finish. Duco is a type of automotive paint back then. So what I decided to do was I just repainted it with just a fire engine red, and then I also left these unpainted as they would have been when the siren was originally sold. This is actually some remnants of the original paint color. You can see right there. I left some spots with the original paint, so that looked pretty cool. And this is using the original cast iron base with the conduit hole still there. Just another thing to point to how old this model is. But enough of me talking. I'll go ahead and I'll give it a brief run-up. It does appear that there's something that's actually stuck inside this inside the rotor. Seems like it's scraping. It might also be the bearings. I'm not entirely sure. So I'll go ahead and give it a quick little blast here. It is raining out today, but I'm also in an area where there's absolutely no one out here, so I'm not too concerned about getting anyone worried. So go ahead and fire it up. Let's see if you guys can see in there. Now you can hear it. There's something scraping in there. I just think it just needs to have the stator recentered. So I know that the rotor is well balanced on this one at least. Just a brief little run. And then I also have this One of my favorite things that Federal has ever made are their 55 series of resonating horns. This one happens to be a Series A1A, which, if you know anything about these horns, is the series that you really want to get. These are the ones that I've, at least what I've learned, is that they tend to have the least amount of problems with on the electrical side. But you can see there's the horn there, 120 volts, model 55, and that's the serial you want to look for, is the A1A series. Either that or the newer ones. The really new ones also, they did fix the capacitor issue that these older horns did. But what I have learned is that the Series A1A, out of all of them, are the ones that typically, if you were to find on eBay, will actually function just fine. Anything older than that, like an A1 series, they typically have a capacitor issue and they don't actually resonate properly. But I'll go ahead and I'll give this a little quick little blast. If you're a basketball fan, you'll recognize the sound immediately. It's the exact same horns that they use on scoreboards and when the timers run out. It's got a really nice echo to it also, especially out here being in a soccer field. So I'll go ahead and I'll give the Model D another quick little run. But there's the 55. When I'm back in South Carolina, I'll probably do a couple more videos on the other stuff I have in my collection too. I got a C5 that I just got, as well as an ED Bullard, which those will also be thrown up on some videos once I get them home. So we'll go ahead and give the Model D just another quick little run. Again, there's the tag and the serial number. The serial number is messed up. It looks like it's been re-stamped several times. But there it is. It's the original tag for it. In really good condition, considering how thrashed it was when I first found it. So I'll go ahead and spin this up one more time. Yeah, I'll have to find out what that scraping is eventually. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. More videos to come.